Who did you walk to? Who did you walk to? I like to go for a walk in the park on sunny days. I like to go for a walk in the park on sunny days. I won't wake up next year. I won't wake up next year. I'm looking for a place to park my car. Do you know where I can do it on campus? I'm looking for a place to park my car. Do you know where I can do it on campus? If it doesn't snow, I'll go out. If it doesn't snow, I'll go out. They become cops every week. They become cops every week. Can't ask monthly? Can't ask monthly? Could you please turn off the lights on your way out? Could you please turn off the lights on your way out? He drank a glass of water. He drank a glass of water. Let's celebrate after finishing the project. Let's celebrate after finishing the project. He was defending. He was defending. Were his siblings recruiters? Were his siblings recruiters? He wouldn't get off the ship. He wouldn't get off the ship. The law is clear. The law is clear. My husband is a stewardess. My husband is a stewardess. I can't wait until dawn. I can't wait until dawn. Will we not save? Will we not save? If there is no chance of snowfall, I will go out. If there is no chance of snowfall, I will go out. I don't notice anything special about the thing in question. I don't notice anything special about the thing in question. Doesn't it design after 3 seconds? Doesn't it design after 3 seconds? Is my husband a vocalist? Is my husband a vocalist? He decided to run to clear his mind. He decided to run to clear his mind. He is capable of speaking multiple languages. He is capable of speaking multiple languages. Can they search? Can they search? Were his children mechanics? Were his children mechanics? I can win 4 more evenings later. I can win 4 more evenings later. We have to analyze after 1 hour. We have to analyze after 1 hour. I don't want to lose a lot of things to look good. I don't want to lose a lot of things to look good. Didn't he have? Didn't he have? Then he didn't. Then he didn't. Was his wife a masseuse? Was his wife a masseuse? May have been a warrior before. May have been a warrior before. Is your half-sister the conductor? Is your half-sister the conductor? What are you doing? What are you doing? I will visit my family. I will visit my family. By the end of the week I will have worked 10 hours. By the end of the week I will have worked 10 hours. Before we get started, let's get to our agenda. Before we get started, let's get to our agenda. Can't blame the yearbook? Can't blame the yearbook? Your cousins were rowers. Your cousins were rowers. Are they always golfers? Are they always golfers? As a customer I see relevant products and offers, so I prefer to shop here. Buying a mix of my groceries. As a customer I see relevant products and offers, so I prefer to shop here. Buying a mix of my groceries. 4. I'm going to kindergarten. I'm going to kindergarten. Couldn't try soon. Couldn't try soon. I had an accident in the city. I had an accident in the city. The report concludes that social media can be a valuable resource for children and adolescents when used wisely and carefully. The report concludes that social media can be a valuable resource for children and adolescents when used wisely and carefully. Will it not produce? Will it not produce? I'm going to the theater. I'm going to the theater. Was his nephew a locksmith? Was his nephew a locksmith? I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of experience. His half-brother was a sociologist. His half-brother was a sociologist. Did you care a minute ago? Did you care a minute ago? We made a trip to the zoo. We made a trip to the zoo. You understand that, right? You understand that, right? Can you teach sometimes? Can you teach sometimes? Would do it later. Would do it later. I wouldn't organize. I wouldn't organize. I'm going to the beach this weekend. I'm going to the beach this weekend. Is your grandchild a landscape architect? Is your grandchild a landscape architect? Was I a regular sometimes? Was I a regular sometimes? How many apples did you eat yesterday? How many apples did you eat yesterday? No points after 2 weeks? No points after 2 weeks? The company is looking for a new financial manager. The company is looking for a new financial manager. Don't you look? Don't you look? Has it rained? Has it rained? Is our sister a messenger? Is our sister a messenger? Will you not increase? Will you not increase? Didn't you vote 1 second ago? Didn't you vote 1 second ago? Uncertainty. Uncertainty. I couldn't escape. I couldn't escape. Which is your favorite season? Which is your favorite season? Can we sleep now? Can we sleep now? You can't usually kill. You can't usually kill. Were you under control at noon? Were you under control at noon? Were his cousins congressmen? Were his cousins congressmen? They can be supervisors. They can be supervisors. Is your grandfather a fireman? Is your grandfather a fireman? Term. Term. Spending. Spending. Should journeyman be monthly? Should journeyman be monthly? Do you think I'm beautiful? Do you think I'm beautiful? Will be a pilot every month. Will be a pilot every month. Shouldn't it analyze the decade? Shouldn't it analyze the decade? Is his nephew an economist? Is his nephew an economist? I shouldn't touch. I shouldn't touch. Keep it up, Tommy. Keep it up, Tommy. The police officer said we should leave the area. The police officer said we should leave the area. Confusion matrix. Confusion matrix. Is your stepbrother the governor? Is your stepbrother the governor? Never an editor? Never an editor? Must be a ballerina every day. Must be a ballerina every day. He had read the book before seeing the movie adaptation. He had read the book before seeing the movie adaptation. Your stepdad is a designer. Your stepdad is a designer. Can I experience it every day? Can I experience it every day? I'm so excited for tonight's concert. I'm so excited for tonight's concert. Is his nephew a shop assistant? Is his nephew a shop assistant? Respect. Respect. Write longer, please. Write longer, please. I'm not a banker at sunrise. I'm not a banker at sunrise. Have you destroyed it at 3 midnight before? Have you destroyed it at 3 midnight before? I won't warn you in a minute. I won't warn you in a minute. Airport shuttle fee is $10 per person. Airport shuttle fee is $10 per person. You didn't ride. You didn't ride. Wound. Wound. We could cause 2 nights ago. We could cause 2 nights ago. Mostly blocked. Mostly blocked. You shouldn't cheat on the exam. You shouldn't cheat on the exam. 10 years does not cry. 10 years does not cry. He can clean at noon. He can clean at noon. You shouldn't be a professor soon. You shouldn't be a professor soon. Our half-sister was a model. Our half-sister was a model. I don't like apples. I don't like apples. They rarely think. They rarely think. I need to buy a snack. Where is the nearest grocery store? I need to buy a snack. Where is the nearest grocery store? To change. To change. How many words do you need to speak a language? How many words do you need to speak a language? Will you ride every year? Will you ride every year? Should you focus sometimes? Should you focus sometimes? The band will perform at the festival next month. The band will perform at the festival next month. Talent. Talent. Will they be chefs later at 4 p.m.? Will they be chefs later at 4 p.m.? You didn't tell us. You didn't tell us. Does he sleep earlier? Does he sleep earlier? Do you know a good podcast to listen to? Do you know a good podcast to listen to? Do you know? People come here to work with you. Okay. Do you know? People come here to work with you. Okay. She's a blogger soon. She's a blogger soon. Can it always create? Can it always create? Are your brothers archaeologists? Are your brothers archaeologists? Do you like the color green? Do you like the color green? I'm not sure I can trust you. I'm not sure I can trust you. Were you a blogger a century ago? Were you a blogger a century ago? Can't we fail next year? Can't we fail next year? His half-brother was a postman. His half-brother was a postman. They would jump 3 centuries later. They would jump 3 centuries later. I support you as your teacher. I support you as your teacher. Can it move monthly? Can it move monthly? His cousins were cameramen. His cousins were cameramen. When I have money, I will buy a car. When I have money, I will buy a car. One of the teams. One of the teams. He will study for his exam next month. He will study for his exam next month. Does it warn you at sunrise? Does it warn you at sunrise? My stepfather was a draper. My stepfather was a draper. I'll be waiting for 30 minutes when the train arrives. I'll be waiting for 30 minutes when the train arrives. It can clear after 2 weeks. It can clear after 2 weeks. He washes. He washes. Then you don't fix one in the morning. Then you don't fix one in the morning. Snowstorm. Snowstorm. Are the summers hot where you live? Are the summers hot where you live? Normally immovable. Normally immovable. Then it won't include 2 in the morning. Then it won't include 2 in the morning. They don't care. They don't care. I was not a mechanic for 3 weekends before. I was not a mechanic for 3 weekends before. 4 p.m. Why couldn't it? 4 p.m. Why couldn't it? It's on the news tonight. It's on the news tonight. We moved on to the next mission with determination. We moved on to the next mission with determination. Shouldn't we apply? Shouldn't we apply? You are not cream. You are not cream. I'm going to the store. I'm going to the store. I don't want to lose much for the machine. I don't want to lose much for the machine. Not a hematologist at dusk? Not a hematologist at dusk? Is my spouse an auditor? Is my spouse an auditor? Couldn't it then broadcast 4 a.m.? Couldn't it then broadcast 4 a.m.? His children were dockers. His children were dockers. Congressman could be 2 more mornings later. Congressman could be 2 more mornings later. Did you dream 2 nights ago? Did you dream 2 nights ago? They were not measured 5 hours ago. They were not measured 5 hours ago. Our grandchildren are chemists. Our grandchildren are chemists. As soon as possible. As soon as possible. You should like. You should like. My grandchildren are conductors. My grandchildren are conductors. They walked to the other side of the bridge. They walked to the other side of the bridge. How can we get permission for these apps? How can we get permission for these apps? He was not alive. He was not alive. Not everyone can afford this kind of responsibility. Not everyone can afford this kind of responsibility. Engineers will design a new product for the company. Engineers will design a new product for the company. He has eaten sushi many times. He has eaten sushi many times. I could smell the delicious smell of freshly brewed coffee. I could smell the delicious smell of freshly brewed coffee. Of course, I can help you with this. Of course, I can help you with this. Should not be created often. Should not be created often. Am I an anthropologist now? Am I an anthropologist now? Can I get a sample of your blood, please? Can I get a sample of your blood, please? Shouldn't he be a hematologist after 4 years? Shouldn't he be a hematologist after 4 years? I joined. I joined. Do we run? Do we run? You would buy. You would buy. Can you answer the phone? Can you answer the phone? Isn't he rower after 4 nights? Isn't he rower after 4 nights? Was our son a barista? Was our son a barista? Whatever you do, don't turn on the lights. Whatever you do, don't turn on the lights. I am doing my homework. I am doing my homework. Does it ship every day? Does it ship every day? Covering. Covering. Will they be able to take a step? Will they be able to take a step? They sat in the front row to watch the concert. They sat in the front row to watch the concert. Should they listen? Should they listen? Didn't he make a sound before? Didn't he make a sound before? Can he play? Can he play? After 3 nights, we wouldn't be defending. After 3 nights, we wouldn't be defending. Can you analyze? Can you analyze? We walked all over the city to see famous places. We walked all over the city to see famous places. Can't object after 5 years? Can't object after 5 years? Will not ignore. Will not ignore. He can run a marathon in under 4 hours. He can run a marathon in under 4 hours. Weekly consultant. Weekly consultant. Was his uncle a doctor? Was his uncle a doctor? Can you spell it please? Can you spell it please? I chatted with my friends online. I chatted with my friends online. It may not happen at sunrise. It may not happen at sunrise. It may not create after a minute. It may not create after a minute. Can you be injured? Can you be injured? When the movie is over, I will be sitting in this seat for 2 hours. When the movie is over, I will be sitting in this seat for 2 hours. They formed a group to protest the government's policies. They formed a group to protest the government's policies. I shouldn't be preaching weekly. I shouldn't be preaching weekly. Don't you explain often? Don't you explain often? Don't I guarantee 10 years? Don't I guarantee 10 years? They don't get cold. They don't get cold. Could you improve one night earlier? Could you improve one night earlier? I found out why. I found out why. Fun. Fun. Where is your favorite place to visit? Where is your favorite place to visit? His stepson was the butler. His stepson was the butler. When the dog is happy, it wags its tail. When the dog is happy, it wags its tail. My first skydiving experience was incredible. My first skydiving experience was incredible. My favorite food is menemen. My favorite food is menemen. Wasn't it close to night time? Wasn't it close to night time? Did they answer? Did they answer? Overlap. Overlap. He studied Spanish for 3 years. He studied Spanish for 3 years. Can't we wrestle often? Can't we wrestle often? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. I like fresh bread. I like fresh bread. Fruit salad. Fruit salad. Jim, I'm here for you to believe. You know that. I don't judge you. Jim, I'm here for you to believe. You know that. I don't judge you. Can't she love? Can't she love? Wouldn't he normally hit? Wouldn't he normally hit? My children are businesswomen. My children are businesswomen. Your father is a miner. Your father is a miner. Did he notice at dusk? Did he notice at dusk? They should not be announced. They should not be announced. Never feels. Never feels. Was my family reporters? Was my family reporters? They go to school by bus. They go to school by bus. The stepdaughter's hairdresser. The stepdaughter's hairdresser. Can we schedule a conference call to discuss this further? Can we schedule a conference call to discuss this further? Didn't we check? Didn't we check? Part of it. Part of it. Our nephew was an analyst. Our nephew was an analyst. I sleep 8 hours a night. I sleep 8 hours a night. I'm not curious, I'm just curious. I'm not curious, I'm just curious. Normally I can't get hurt. Normally I can't get hurt. Can't we reduce 2 a.m. later? Can't we reduce 2 a.m. later? We can't set it now. We can't set it now. Aren't we going to come to an agreement later in the morning? Aren't we going to come to an agreement later in the morning? Will they never be receptionists? Will they never be receptionists? Was your grandfather a civil servant? Was your grandfather a civil servant? I shouldn't play weekly. I shouldn't play weekly. Can you midwife later on the 4th evening? Can you midwife later on the 4th evening? We cannot persuade. We cannot persuade. He armed himself with a gun. He armed himself with a gun. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we fail. I will post every week. I will post every week. 3 p.m. vet? 3 p.m. vet? We wouldn't force it after 1 week. We wouldn't force it after 1 week. Cannot grow earlier. Cannot grow earlier. I do not trust you. I do not trust you. He must be the second man immediately. He must be the second man immediately. Don't you ever lie? Don't you ever lie? Sometimes you shouldn't. Sometimes you shouldn't. As always, we had a productive meeting. As always, we had a productive meeting. He went on a trip with his friends. He went on a trip with his friends. Digest. Digest. Not signing weekly? Not signing weekly? Was he the bartender now? Was he the bartender now? I don't notice anything in particular about it. I don't notice anything in particular about it. Can you drop me off at the airport tomorrow? Can you drop me off at the airport tomorrow? After 2 weekends we can engineer. After 2 weekends we can engineer. Can we rent a quiet place? Can we rent a quiet place? Shouldn't make a noise at noon. Shouldn't make a noise at noon. I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you understand. Choreographer, can't you do it after 4 weekends? Choreographer, can't you do it after 4 weekends? Encourage. Encourage. I prefer your food. I prefer your food. I'm sorry I do not know English. I'm sorry I do not know English. Can't you juggle at 3 a.m. earlier? Can't you juggle at 3 a.m. earlier? I shouldn't be a neurologist in 5 hours. I shouldn't be a neurologist in 5 hours. Is her husband a priest? Is her husband a priest? For I will sleep. For I will sleep. I will break for you. I will break for you. Why will you come with me? Why will you come with me? He read a novel during his vacation. He read a novel during his vacation. I can ask. I can ask. I want to walk in the park. I want to walk in the park. I see you. I see you. Not experienced? Not experienced? Were his parents loaders? Were his parents loaders? We can usually improve. We can usually improve. Shouldn't they be thinking? Shouldn't they be thinking? I won't go out if it rains. I won't go out if it rains. I am not support. I am not support. Did it wait 10 years? Did it wait 10 years? You have to sit at dusk. You have to sit at dusk. We wouldn't start. We wouldn't start. You can sing normally. You can sing normally. Cannot adapt. Cannot adapt. Painful burning sensation in the chest. Painful burning sensation in the chest. Should we pause before continuing? Should we pause before continuing? Can't she do groceries every 2 weeks? Can't she do groceries every 2 weeks? 3 p.m. vet? 3 p.m. vet? Couldn't he go at night? Couldn't he go at night? Are you organized? Are you organized? Is your stepbrother a ranger? Is your stepbrother a ranger? He won't give up until he wins the race. He won't give up until he wins the race. The data show a clear trend. The data show a clear trend. Can't they teach now? Can't they teach now? Unfortunately, we don't have much time. Unfortunately, we don't have much time. Moreover, he is riding a rabbit. He is riding a rabbit. My relatives were pediatricians. My relatives were pediatricians. You won't be a cleaner every week. You won't be a cleaner every week. After 3 seconds he can get scared. After 3 seconds he can get scared. We were waiting for the train to arrive at the station. We were waiting for the train to arrive at the station. Our materials are sourced from local suppliers. Our materials are sourced from local suppliers. I can visit. I can visit. I will be here to assist you with any of your pain management needs. I will be here to assist you with any of your pain management needs. My stepmother is an inspector. My stepmother is an inspector. Doesn't it quote after 5 seconds? Doesn't it quote after 5 seconds? Their children are astronauts. Their children are astronauts. They shouldn't say. They shouldn't say. I have many goals. I have many goals. Did not focus. Did not focus. It suddenly appeared. It suddenly appeared. Our menu is regularly updated to keep everything interesting. Our menu is regularly updated to keep everything interesting. Could he not walk? Could he not walk? Shouldn't they be coaching every day? Shouldn't they be coaching every day? What is your email address? What is your email address? Look at this. Look at this. Was unorganized. Was unorganized. Received a new promotion at work. Received a new promotion at work. Could he be a warrior next year? Could he be a warrior next year? He cleans his house every weekend. He cleans his house every weekend. Looking forward to a relaxing weekend. Looking forward to a relaxing weekend. Isn't he a paramedic every year? Isn't he a paramedic every year? If it's cloudy, I won't go out. If it's cloudy, I won't go out. Do you think what it is? Do you think what it is? Husband nanny. Husband nanny. I don't notice anything special about the current situation. I don't notice anything special about the current situation. You should not respond every year. You should not respond every year. I can go to the concert tonight. I can go to the concert tonight. Do you understand? Do you understand? Were our brothers referees? Were our brothers referees? I have a lot of love. I have a lot of love. The decade of the 90s was characterized by economic growth and cultural change. The decade of the 90s was characterized by economic growth and cultural change. Violence. Violence. Shouldn't he find it at sunset? Shouldn't he find it at sunset? Shouldn't he be a marketer in 5 seconds? Shouldn't he be a marketer in 5 seconds? Your grandparents were reporters. Your grandparents were reporters. He'll cook dinner while I'm at work. He'll cook dinner while I'm at work. Are their nephews an oncologist? Are their nephews an oncologist? Do we have to feed after one night? Do we have to feed after one night? The immersion blender is great for making soup. The immersion blender is great for making soup. The company is looking for a new sales manager. The company is looking for a new sales manager. Do you usually feed? Do you usually feed? Does he run away often? Does he run away often? We couldn't leave. We couldn't leave. Are we going to impose it every week? Are we going to impose it every week? He hated going to school. He hated going to school. You can't be a weekly locksmith. You can't be a weekly locksmith. Simon, we're going in the wrong direction. Simon, we're going in the wrong direction. Was my daughter a travel agent? Was my daughter a travel agent? Change can be difficult, but it can also be good. Change can be difficult, but it can also be good. Could not protect. Could not protect. His half-brother was a postman. His half-brother was a postman. Can't you be a weekly urologist? Can't you be a weekly urologist? We'll join soon. We'll join soon. Specific point. Specific point. We want to plan the next sprint for the countries that are rolling out. We want to plan the next sprint for the countries that are rolling out. Was the window cleaner next year? Was the window cleaner next year? We can be columnists every month. We can be columnists every month. Your children are models. Your children are models. I'm reading my favorite author's book. I'm reading my favorite author's book. Do they run normally? Do they run normally? What was your favorite food as a kid? What was your favorite food as a kid? I didn't become an operator a week ago. I didn't become an operator a week ago. The decade of the 2000s was marked by major changes in technology. The decade of the 2000s was marked by major changes in technology. Sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Doesn't it sit after a night? Doesn't it sit after a night? Cabbage. Cabbage. Also, can you remind me to call my mom later? Also, can you remind me to call my mom later? Is your mother a messenger? Is your mother a messenger? Do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. Do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. I saw a cow in the city. I saw a cow in the city. The whole city was destroyed by the earthquake. The whole city was destroyed by the earthquake. They shouldn't be making statements at 3 p.m. They shouldn't be making statements at 3 p.m. My grandmother was an actress. My grandmother was an actress. Did we finish often? Did we finish often? We were not staying. We were not staying. I will use tape. I will use tape. Anything can happen in the future. Anything can happen in the future. In the spring the snow will melt. In the spring the snow will melt. He would stop. He would stop. Shouldn't it produce? Shouldn't it produce? May not be sent after 3 midnight. May not be sent after 3 midnight. Won't you prove it every year? Won't you prove it every year? Will we be organized after one night? Will we be organized after one night? We will celebrate our anniversary. We will celebrate our anniversary. Your mother-in-law is an intern. Your mother-in-law is an intern. Will he be an air traffic controller? Will he be an air traffic controller? I have to sell. I have to sell. I have to be an admin right away. I have to be an admin right away. Your stepdaughter was on the jury. Your stepdaughter was on the jury. Let's talk about the past. Let's talk about the past. I will bounce the ball. I will bounce the ball. Your uncle was a lifesaver. Your uncle was a lifesaver. Further. Further. He can fix the car himself. He can fix the car himself. Rarely have to score points. Rarely have to score points. The pharmacy is located down the aisle on the right. The pharmacy is located down the aisle on the right. Couldn't last 2 weeks. Couldn't last 2 weeks. After 5 months, I am not a judge. After 5 months, I am not a judge. Not everyone can afford this kind of responsibility. Not everyone can afford this kind of responsibility. Produced the day before. Produced the day before. Were their grandchildren bus drivers? Were their grandchildren bus drivers? They survive on a weekly basis. They survive on a weekly basis. They were drinking. They were drinking. Don't I guarantee 10 years? Don't I guarantee 10 years? Should take advantage. Should take advantage. Were his parents loaders? Were his parents loaders? Shouldn't they be suppressed now? Shouldn't they be suppressed now? Noon is not a tradesman. Noon is not a tradesman. Was her grandmother an intensive care specialist? Was her grandmother an intensive care specialist? His friend is a model. His friend is a model. Can we get a coroner in one day? Can we get a coroner in one day? She takes yoga classes on Tuesdays. She takes yoga classes on Tuesdays. How does this work? How does this work? He uses a smartphone to stay connected. He uses a smartphone to stay connected. Have we rented a quiet apartment? Have we rented a quiet apartment? 4 weeks from the police, right? 4 weeks from the police, right? Shouldn't they be thanked? Shouldn't they be thanked? What is your problem? What is your problem? His mother is an agent. His mother is an agent. I don't want to lose my machine for magazines. I don't want to lose my machine for magazines. You shouldn't judge. You shouldn't judge. British English and American English are the most common. British English and American English are the most common. From where? From where? I'm going to have dinner with friends. I'm going to have dinner with friends. Was her daughter a songwriter? Was her daughter a songwriter? Energy from the sun is used to power homes. Energy from the sun is used to power homes. Could you please sign this consent form? Could you please sign this consent form? I can't understand what you're saying. I can't understand what you're saying. I have to pick up my sons from the school bus. I have to pick up my sons from the school bus. Can't it be helpful? Can't it be helpful? Can't we accept weekly? Can't we accept weekly? Our wife is a programmer. Our wife is a programmer. When I got to the party, everyone had already left. When I got to the party, everyone had already left. The company is looking for a new IT manager. The company is looking for a new IT manager. I can't survive before. I can't survive before. His stepdaughter was a golfer. His stepdaughter was a golfer. I'm not sure what you want to say. I'm not sure what you want to say. They will collect donations every day. They will collect donations every day. Our grandfather was a doctor. Our grandfather was a doctor. We shouldn't fix it at night. We shouldn't fix it at night. Were their husbands stylists? Were their husbands stylists? Should we finish this task today or can it wait until tomorrow? Should we finish this task today or can it wait until tomorrow? Is our niece a secretary? Is our niece a secretary? Don't they often? Don't they often? We are ahead of schedule. We are ahead of schedule. I've already eaten lunch. I've already eaten lunch. Could attack every year. Could attack every year. We are never cream. We are never cream. You shouldn't put it in every day. You shouldn't put it in every day. What is your phone number? What is your phone number? Did I make an inquiry 2 days ago? Did I make an inquiry 2 days ago? I won't be online tomorrow. However, our team member John will attend your meeting. I won't be online tomorrow. However, our team member John will attend your meeting. Can't you hint at twilight? Can't you hint at twilight? They may not be interested in next year. They may not be interested in next year. Assumed 3 years ago? Assumed 3 years ago? Are you married? Are you married? Help everyone be clear about their sprint goals. What has been accomplished? And what needs to happen next? Help everyone be clear about their sprint goals. What has been accomplished? And what needs to happen next? What letter is this? What letter is this? We accept at sunrise. We accept at sunrise. Could not manage. Could not manage. Art. Art. I will seize every opportunity that comes my way. I will seize every opportunity that comes my way. They are not eaten every year. They are not eaten every year. Can't he ever live? Can't he ever live? Cannot warn. Cannot warn. When are you leaving school? When are you leaving school? Where will you do it? Where will you do it? I can attack later at 5 p.m. at midnight. I can attack later at 5 p.m. at midnight. You can teach. You can teach. Can't she love? Can't she love? We can pass by 5 p.m. We can pass by 5 p.m. Can you always connect? Can you always connect? We went to the beach for the day. We went to the beach for the day. Did he come? Did he come? He will run the marathon. He will run the marathon. We don't burn. We don't burn. The slow cooker is cooking dinner while I'm at work. The slow cooker is cooking dinner while I'm at work.